Lovely. Okay, so we're going to start with our warm-up as usual, and then we'll take it down to the floor. So feet hip width apart, and the hip bones, and they're nice and straight and facing forward like you're skiing. And a good posture is we're trying to have our ear over shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over knees, knees over ankles. Probably haven't got a mirror next to you now, but that's a good little check of your posture, that everything is lined up. So if you held a plumb line from your ear, you'll go straight down to the ankle. And let's just have a little sway from side to side so we can just sense the weight evenly distributing, let the toes spread out. And we can settle in the centre, and then we can lean back and forward again, just finding somewhere in the centre where we feel the weight is even between the front and the back of the foot. Growing up nice and tall a few inches. And we're drawing the belly button in towards the spine, so this is all engaged. And our posture, again, we don't want our bums sticking out or tucked under, so just in neutral, and then you have to squeeze the tummy to keep that neutral position. Lovely. Breath in through the nose. Let the rib cage expand, front, side and back. Breathe out, and you're squeezing your ribs together. Imagining the ribs are squeezing together, and again, breathe in and out. Keep the shoulders down, just feel the rib cage expanding. And that out breath, we're really gonna, as if we're breathing on a mirror, so that you engage the diaphragm, working that diaphragm. Lovely. One more. Then breath, normal length, still in through the nose, out through the mouth. On the out breath, let's tuck the chin in. Breathing in, lift the chin slightly. Breathing out, tuck the chin in. Palms forward. And then when we're breathing in, let's let the chest lift, let the ribs lift away from the hips. And down. And again. And down. Let's lift the arms as well, and that helps get an arch in the back. Arms up and then down. Twisting the wrists as we go. Breathing in, breathing out. Little bounce in the knees. Next time, bottom behind you, eyes down to the knees, and swing those arms with breath. One more. Lovely. And back to centre. Good stuff. Let's start warming up the neck. So a little circle with the nose. And just still thinking of that posture, still thinking of the feet, the weight evenly distributed. Let's change direction. Just getting some movement in that neck. And then take the ear to the right shoulder and just half a circle. Head rolls forward to the other side, and then change direction. Thinking of your posture still, and using breath. Always trying to move with breath. One of the Pilates principles, so you're totally in control. One more, and then we'll hold the head to the right. Two fingers, gently lengthen. Really push this shoulder down and this one as well. So draw those shoulders down and push the heel of the hand into the floor. And the body's up nice and straight. It's only the neck that's bending. So there's no bend here or rotate. So nice and tall, just the neck. Then rotate down, looking towards your right toe, or just looking straight down. Trying to be technical. It is your right toe, it's my left because I'm mirrored. And release, let's change side. Ear to your left shoulder, draw the shoulders down, two fingers lengthen, heel of the hand pushes down, breathing into it. Lovely, let's rotate. Looking down at your left foot, so towards your little toe. And gently release back to centre. Lovely. Little roll of those shoulders. we're going to warm up the wrists, warm up the shoulders. So let's have the arms in this nice 90-degree angle, and we're in at the waist. So it's like you're holding a newspaper under the arm. So this bit's loose, but this bit right under the armpit's really tight. So hold the newspaper, and you want stiff wrists. So almost try and bend your fingers back, and that will create a bit of a stretch and some stiffness. Let's open, lead back with those thumbs, keep your imaginary newspaper under your arm, and close, and we're touching the little fingers. Breathe in and open, keep up tall, and breathe out, close. So you're sensing your shoulders squeezing together slightly, your chest is opening at the front, but no movement anywhere else. And you've got 2 heavy trays of drinks, so you're just keeping nice and steady. Really breathing with movement, breathing in, breathing out. We're going to add on, breathe in, reach, come back in, squeeze the armpits and close. Lovely, breathing in, and out, and close, and again, one more. Lovely, release. Taking the hands across the chest and just resting on the shoulders, and just gently looking down, so as if you have a watch. If you have got a watch, you can have that one on top. Look at your watch, so your chin and your head's in line with your arms, so your head isn't going to move outside of the arms. Slightly softening, shoulders back, pull the tummy in, and then just rotate. So it's just the upper body rotating to the right. And you can see my chin is in line with my watch. We don't want it to overtake and look behind. So just the upper body at the moment. Imagine you've got headlights on those hips and they are facing forward, straight down the road. No bending, twisting, keeping those knees forward and those feet as well. Lovely. I'm going to add on now, so I'm going to reach back to the right and then follow the fingers with my head, so little neck stretch as well, and back, and then twist to your left, open, follow the fingers, keep the shoulder down. So we're really trying to squeeze the shoulder back, keeping your hips forward. So you're twisting in opposing directions. So your upper body is twisting to the left, but your hip here is trying to push forward. So really squeeze back. Try and get that arm back as much as you can. Lovely. Let's do one more. And release. Good stuff. A little bit more into these arms. We've got this nice L shape again with both arms, shoulders up and then down. Imagine you've got pockets just behind you here, and you're putting your shoulder blades in those pockets to keep them nice and strong, and then just push down. Again, create this pretend resistance, imagining you're pressing on something really hard. Breathe in, breathe out. As you're lifting your arms, don't let your rib cage lift away, keep this closed. It's just the arms, elbows and shoulders that we're working here. Let's do one arm at a time, right arm only. Lovely. Breathing in, breathing out. Let's add a head. Breathe in, breathe out. Look the same way as the arm that's going down. So look into the right. Breathe in, center. So good for the maintenance of your shoulders here. This works your rotator cuff, and it does help with your posture, opens up the shoulders, lots of good things. Both hands back, squeeze back, chest stays down, so you're trying to squeeze your rib cage down and your hands back. Squeeze and release. Lovely. A little bit into the wrists. We're going to do a bit of standing work today. What I call isometric. So circle the wrist. So isometrics is basically a still position. So like a plank where your muscles are under tension, but there's no movement in the joint, for want of a better word. So it could even be standing on one leg. You're under tension, but there's no movement happening. So we sort of do those and combine them with some dynamic movements. So think like a weightlifter, really. They would hold a weight above their head, but they would squat at the same time. So that's where it comes from. Very good for strengthening the body. As if you're driving your motorbike, rev up and down. Hands in little fists if you can, or have them floppy if it's too much. A little bit of work, leaning into those hands today, but not too much. Hands together, let's stretch. The fingers one way, stretching the other way. So really feel those fingers stretch, and into the wrists as well. Let's take those arms up. I've got a couple of balances and sort of dynamic moves to do standing. Still some more glute work to do when we're on the floor as well. Lovely. Hold forward. Push your hands to be round your upper back, head down, little soft knees. So you're stretching your shoulder blades apart. Lovely. Let's just get a little bit of rotation, lateral flexion in the spine. Hands by the side, just slide the hand down the leg. So we've warmed up the spine by twisting it. Now we need a little bend. And then we shall bend forward, do some forward flexion and extension. I'm going to add on to this, can we add an arm, reach up and over, and change. So if this is too much, lose the arm. You could do it without the arm. I'd like to take the feet a bit wider because we're going to add on again, up to you. Take both hands, link them together, and you can have little pointy fingers, reach up, try and get those arms near your ears, reach to the side, and then centre, and then side. So we're bending at the waist. And you can also start to think of pushing your hips out a bit. So I'm bending, but my hips are going that way. So I'm really getting a full stretch down that body. Again, see how your body feels. You might find the arms are too much. So you could do the similar thing, pushing your hips, bending down with the hands here. What I want to do is hold the next one to the right. So we're going to hold it here to the right. So the weight is in your right leg. Can we lean into it a bit more? Can this foot float up slightly? You might find a toe tap is fine. Keep those arms up, keep reaching to the corner, or can you lift that leg? Squeeze the tummy, squeeze everything. And release, beautiful. Change sides. Feet a bit wider, reach up. Shoulders are down, and bend. Push the hips, reach, 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 and then take the weight into the left leg. Toe on the floor, keep the arms up, reach to the corner. Can we lift a foot? One side's always a little bit less wobbly than the other. This is my bad side. Oh, lovely, and release. Good. So that's sort of a isometric because you're held in a position that your body's under tension and stress, but not too much movement in the joint. Another couple of things. So we are going to add an isometric move with a dynamic move. So let's have our hands on our hips and just lift the heel and lower. Lift the heel and lower. So again, a little bit more balance work, but we're going to be working the legs as well. Now let's lift the heel and lift the knee up and down. Really think of placing the foot heel down. So you lift the heel, stretch the foot, lift the knee, place and down. So it's a real sort of got a lift up sort of movement. So it's quite chunky, clunky, that's the word I'm looking for. Lovely. So staying on this side, let's just lift the right leg up and down. I'm just going to tap it down. You don't have to tap it down. If you want to, you could just hover off the floor. But what I want to do is add some extension onto this. So lift and hold. So this is the isometric hold. So you can really feel it in this leg. Squeeze the bottom, so you pulled up tall. Squeeze the tummy, that's going to help you balance. Don't grip with the underneath foot. Now add the dynamic. Can we lengthen the leg and back again? If you need to, just stand next to a wall. Clearly I do. And back. Squeeze. This is my bad side. I'm much better on the other side, she says. I better be better now. Let's do one more. Straighten. In and down. Good. So it's quite a lot going on there, even though it's quite a small move. Other leg. And lift. And lower. And lift. This is my good side. Lower. Lift and lower. Lift. Maybe not even tap it down, just hovering off the floor. Lovely. 3 more here, and then we're going to add on that extension. Hold it up, so let's just hold here for a moment. So squeezing this leg, squeezing the bottom is going to pull you up. Don't grip with those toes, have that foot flat, think of the weight evenly distributed. Can we lengthen and bring it back? So don't worry if your leg isn't straight, just lengthen. You're really working these muscles here. You're working the calf muscles of the leg you're standing on. You're challenging the core. There's a lot going on. We got one more. Look at that, I said I could do the other side. Release, lovely. A little walk through the feet just to release those ankles. Wonderful. I want to do, in fact I'll do that potentially at the end, glute stretch, a different one. Let's go down to the floor to start with. So our usual roll down. I'm just going to move my pillow out of the way. So we're going to roll ourselves down, but let's add a heel lift and an arm lift. So lift the heels, lift the arms, squeeze the tummy, breathe out, heels down, arms down, chin down, shoulders down, scoop the belly in. Keep the weight in the fronts of your feet, your head is relaxed, so your chin's tucked in, eyes are looking at the knees. Stretch those arms, stretch those shoulders. Then start to feel your ribs stretching, then your lower back stretching. Then finally into the legs. Breath in at the bottom and curl back up. Keeping the weight forward. So if you imagine you jumped into a manhole and it's not very big, it's kind of this kind of round. That's what you try and do, fold yourself in half. Lift the heels, lift the arms. Chin down, and you're thinking of rolling yourself down. It's almost thinking of your nose into your belly button. Really pull that tummy in. Trying to get fold in half. Get your nose close to your knees. Breath in, breath out. Let's curl back up. Last time, we'll take it to the floor. Breathe in, heel lift, arm lift. Lower. Again, imagine that small space that you're in. Supporting yourself however you need to. Hands down, knees down. Keep the feet as they are, so they're tucked under. You've got your toes tucked under and you're pressing into the ball of the feet. So we can have a nice stretch of those feet. We're going to do another stretch, which is the fronts of the ankles. We always stretch the back, which is what we're doing now. We rarely stretch the front, so I'm going to do a little stretch for that in a moment. Now let your feet release, and we're sitting back. So this one, you can lean back on your hands and you can just lift your knee very slightly. It's only very small, and then the other one, and you're going to feel that's going to stretch all the way underneath. Lift the right one, it stretches right down. See how that feels. There's not too much weight in my arms. I'm just stretching the ankle and release. Very small, you don't want to overstretch it, but we don't ever stretch it this way particularly, so it will feel a little tight. Release, lovely. Let's just come into child pose. Hands behind, shoulders fall down, head relaxed, neck relaxed. Lovely, little tiny shoulder opener, we like that. Have the arms down here, and then hands to the temple, open up the right arm and close and open. So with our hips in this position, we can't rotate them or use the spine, the lower back, so we're having to use this upper back. Let's change sides. Rotate and rotate and rotate and rotate and rotate. And another one. Let's take it up a level. Hands push up and open. So you're rotating more. Open, elbow to hand, elbow to ceiling, elbow to hand, elbow to ceiling. Switch sides. Elbow, ceiling to hand, to ceiling. Try and keep this arm straight, so you're having to use the body. If you bend the arm, you're just bending forward. We're trying to rotate that body and get that mobility into that mid-spine. Lovely, last one on all fours. Nice big arm open. Keep your hips still now because they're not isolated. Again, you can stick with either of the previous two versions. This is really good for your shoulders. Squeeze the tummy. One more. Each side. And let's sit back, relax. Let those knees open a bit more so we can slide through. Coming up, give those wrists a little stretch. And stretch them out. Want to do a little plank, because that's again an isometric hold. And we're going to give options for this. So you can either, if you've got your wrists really don't like this position, you can do a plank on the elbows. And you can be in a half plank like this on the knees. Or you can take it up to a full plank, making sure you're nice and straight. If you want to, same thing, you can do a half plank on your hands, but just making sure you're not dropping your body. You've got to be lifted. Squeeze the tummy, or go up into a full plank, which is where I'd like us to be. So we're going to hold a full plank or a half plank, knees, elbows, whatever works for you, for about 20 seconds. I think that's about the most you should really do planks for, otherwise you start to lose your form. So really strong shoulders, we don't want to collapse, strong. Tummy pulled in, one leg back. Again, you could even stay here and then switch halfway, or you can do both legs. So squeeze, look straight down at the floor like you're in a mirror, so don't drop the head. Push back on those heels. Squeeze that tummy. Lovely, that's 10, we've got another 10 seconds. One more breath. Lovely, knees down, let's sit back, wonderful. Give these wrists a little stretch. Lovely, so I'm going to do some work on our tummies. Again, isometric kind of stuff, holding still. Couple of different arm positions here. So we're going to start with the feet just to the back of the mat and relax. But pull the belly in so you're not pressing on it. And we're just going to have the neck nice and long, so don't lift your chin up. Long neck, look on the floor like a mirror. And your elbows we're going to squeeze back. So squeeze the tummy in. Breathe in, lift up, squeeze the tummy in. So there's a small lift. Lift your hands and hold. For 2, for 3, for 4 and lower. So it's very much working these lower back muscles. So we're going to keep building on this. This is our base level. If that's too much, just hands on the floor. I think we can manage it. So lift. It's small. Keep space between the shoulders and the ears. Squeeze the belly so you're really into your rib cage. You can squeeze the bottom if you think that gives you more stability in the back. And lower. I'm going to start to add on. Lift up, squeeze the elbows down towards you, holding that newspaper again. Squeeze and hold. Squeeze the tummy. Lengthen the neck, space between the ears. You're trying to get your shoulders to touch your ankles. And release. And again, lift up. Keep breathing whilst you're here. Really try and get those elbows down as much as you can. Your hands are just hovering. Wonderful. I'm going to slightly change position. Same thing, squeeze the tummy, lift. Now take your hands to your forehead, squeeze the elbows up and back, as if you're doing a sort of reverse sit-up where you'd have your hands on the temples. Squeeze those elbows, they're trying to touch the ceiling. Squeeze, 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 and release. Another one, breathe in, lift, squeeze the tummy, squeeze the bottom, squeeze the elbows. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and release. One more. Lift and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Lovely. Relax. So I want to lift the legs now. Same thing, and then we're going to do arms and legs. So you can just lift one leg at a time and hold it. Again, pull the belly in so you're not pressing on it. The back doesn't change shape. Lengthen, lift the other leg and hold it. So that's your one at a time option. You can lift both if you want. Squeeze the bottom, feel the legs lengthen from the hip joints and then lift them up. Your legs are straight. Try and really extend and open up the backs of the knees. This is really engaged. Your bottom is engaged. And lower. And again, lift. Lengthen, legs, squeeze bottom, lift. So I'm going to add the upper body to this, but it's optional. Same thing we did. So lift your legs, squeeze, lift your upper body, squeeze the elbows back and just hold. For 2, for 3, squeeze that tummy, pull it in off the floor, squeeze the elbows back. Just really feel it running all the way down the back, looking straight down at the floor and release. Lovely, I'm going to make that now more dynamic by adding on slightly. Breathe in, lift up. Now just keep the legs where they are and reach forward and back. Reach and back and reach. So if it's too much, take the legs down. So it's just the arms. Try and reach your arms up past your ears. Reach. Squeeze your back, squeeze your bum, pull the tummy in. Reach. Reach and hold. For 4, for 3, for 2, for one last breath. Beautiful. Really work that back. Push back. And into child pose. Round that lower back. Lovely. Good stuff. A little bit of a stretch for the shoulders. Hands together. Pull forward, round the back. Separate those shoulders. Take the hands, palms up, stretch up, let the shoulders shrug up to the ears, and then release. Then let's take them behind. So either link the fingers, or just grab a hand, or just have your hands here, and stretch. Ooh. Nice little stretch for the chest. You can lean forward if that's comfortable. Not for everyone. Lovely, just take the arm on the shoulder, just stretch it back. So we're just trying to stretch this that we've just been contracting and working. Let's change sides, just a little release stretch here and push back. Lovely. So we're going to sit on our bottoms, do our usual spine and hip opener, and then I've got some quite new bridge work to do today, so a few new ones. Again, really attacking these glutes because they help keep back pain away. Have feet together, knees together, hands pull up, breathing. Breathe out. So we're from the S curve of the spine, which is this shape. So you've got a curve here and a curve here, going into a C shape where the whole spine is rounded. Breathe in, S curve, chest up. Breathe out like you've been hitting the tummy round, and start to tip your hips up a bit. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out. As you come up now, open the knees. Breathe in, lift the chest. So you're really extending up. It really stretches and strengthens that spine. Close and round. So we're almost pumping the discs between the spine because you're kind of bending it one way, bending it the other way, giving those discs a little bit of a squeeze that they need because it helps get nutrients into them. I'm adding arms. Reaching forward and back. Keeping your toes or the balls of your feet on the floor. It's all happening in your tummy area. Reach up if you can, reach. Try and get those arms up near those ears, really lengthening the back. It's really good for your spine, flexibility of the shoulders, but particularly tight here. Hold, back, squeeze. Open your curtains and twist. Breathe in, twist, breathe out. Breathe in, balls of the feet, toes down, so we're not using the legs. Squeeze that tummy, tuck the tailbone under. Shoulders relax away from the ears. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. One more. Hold here. Keep the feet firmly in contact, squeeze the knees, come down, one more, lie down. Whew. Lovely. Bring the knees in one at a time, give yourself a little roll around. Lovely. So, I want to go straight in with some bridge stuff. We'll go back to abdominals in a minute. So, starting the bridge position with feet. I'm going to do a few variations today, but setup starts as is. Feet are hip width apart. You've got neutral spines, you've got a little gap under your back. You've got some small tomatoes under there. You're pulling your tummy in so your tomatoes are in place, but you're not flattening onto the floor yet. So in neutral, lengthen the neck. If you find this hard and your chin is up in the air, pop a little pillow under just to get some nice neutral alignment in the neck. Breathing in, breathe out. Breathe in, feel your ribs expand, breathe out, feeling them squeeze back together. It's a visual, they're not really squashing and expanding that much, but the diaphragm is and all the muscles around it are. Start to think of squeezing the lower part of your tummy. The pelvic floor runs from the front all the way around and the back and underneath. It's like squeezing it if you don't want to go to the toilet. Squeeze. Give it 100% squeeze. Should make you shake if you squeeze enough. One more. Now let's just take it to a 30% squeeze. So you're engaged, but you can move. New arm position for the bridge. Elbows here, fingers up. This is a great little tip I learned. It basically means if your hands are here, then you can lift your rib cage too much. Whereas if your arms are here, there's no way you can push into the floor, but you can't overarch. That's a really good little tip. So arms in, fingers up. Length for the neck. Breathe in, breathe out, flatten the back into the floor. And then back to neutral. Try not to push on those arms too much and keep the distance between your ears and your shoulders, so don't let them hunch up. Still down. Each time making the movement a bit bigger, really sensing your weight evenly distributed on your foot. So big toe, ball of the foot, little toe and heel. This time let's lift. Breathe in, breathe out, flatten the back, feel all the vertebrae up to the rib cage. Lift, lift, lift. So you'll find when you get to here, you can't kind of do that big overarch too much. So push your elbows down and squeeze your bottom up. Really nice position. Making sure you're on the balls of your feet as well, so your knees haven't flayed out to the side. So all of the foot's engaged. Neck is long, breathing in. Breathe out, roll down each vertebra. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the middle of the back, then the lower back, then the tailbone. Carry on with this and we're going to keep adding on. Lifting up, keep the neck long. And you're squeezing with your bottom. You're not pressing with your chest. Push your elbows down, squeeze the bottom. That gives you the perfect straight position. And you'll start to engage the glutes more. Lovely. One more, squeezing up. So the next one I want to do, we're going to hold up. So again, it's this sort of isometric position. And I'm going to slightly drop the hips side to side, so it might be easier to show you. Lift up, and then I'm slightly going to drop my right hip. So if I've got a cup of tea here, I just want to drop the tea. And then come back to centre, drop the left hip. So think of your hips twisting. And back to centre, and twist. It's very small, but it really makes you engage your bottom. So you don't want to collapse into it. Don't let that other leg collapse, but feel a twist as if you're lowering one hip down, almost if you wanted to touch your bottom on the floor, back up. Then the other hip down and back up straight. Squeeze the other hip down and back up. One more and lower. So you really feel that in those glutes. Lovely. New little one, feet together, knees together, open the knees. This is a frog bridge, so your feet are touching each other, the balls of the feet. We're going to do a bridge in this position. Again, you have to really engage the glutes. If it's really not to your liking, just come back to your normal position. And then maybe once you're lifted, we could open the knees. But feet together. Same thing with these arms. Breathe in. Breathe out, squeeze the feet, squeeze the bum, and lift up. Really feel that in the hips, roll down. So try not to forget your curl of the lower back into the floor, curl back down, flatten the back, peel off, lower, down. Let's do 2 more. One more. Lovely. One more bridge, and then we're going to stretch our hamstrings. They've really done a lot here, hamstrings and glutes. For this one, we hold the bridge, but I'm going to add an arm and take it over my head. So feet hip width apart. So lift up into a normal bridge. Here we are. Now just take your right arm over and look over to your left. So you're slightly twisting, and then come back. And then your left arm, lift it over your head, take it to the right and look that way. Making sense? Keeping this squeeze, but you're rolling over slightly. Keeping your shoulder on the floor, that you're having to really use the legs, the hamstrings, your hips are the same, but you're just taking the arm to the diagonal behind you and using the head as well. One more. Oh, let's roll down. Oh, I can feel that one. Bring the knees in, lovely. Roll around. Let's grab our bands and do a little stretch of the backs of those legs. Feet down, band around your foot, your right foot, and just get that leg straight. Don't worry about getting it up. Get the band around the back of the foot so you can flex the foot. Leg is straight, upper body relax. In neutral spine, and you can wrap it round a bit. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders. It's just, even here could be enough for you. I'm going to take a breath in. Breathe out, ease in, just an inch. Breathe in, release. Breathe out, ease it in. Breathe in, release. Breathe out, ease it in. Breathe in, release. Breathe out, ease it in. Again, just working at your level. Keep the foot flexed, toe down to your face. Open the back of the knee. Holding it here. Relax the head, even when it looks side to side, there's no tension. And take your foot diagonally across the body slightly just to get that IT band, but don't let your hip lift. Lovely. In fact, we'll do the glute stretch here. We'll do another one as well. So with this right foot, cross it over the left knee, pick your legs up, bring them in. If you need to use your band to help pull in, go for it. Or you can just use your hands. Pull that knee in, you can push your knee out. Again, really just see how your knees feel. You might not like that twisting motion, but pull in. Again, little look side to side, no tension in the neck. Ooh. It's going quick tonight. Let's put that foot down, keeping the right knee and ankle on the left knee. Oh God. Arms out to the side, legs fall to the left. Keep both shoulders down so we get a nice stretch down here, into the back, into the hip. Let's add the neck as well and just look over to that right hand. And then the left leg that's on the floor, you can use that to help push your feet back up because the legs are heavy. Back to centre, keep that ankle on the knee and just let them fall gently the other way. Again, both shoulders down, looking over to the left hand. Changing the stretch to the front of the hip now. Again, push on this left foot to bring those knees back to centre. Looking back to centre, feet down. Let's change sides. So bring the left knee in. Let's get the band around the foot and stretch it away. So it's all about lengthening the leg. Get that foot flex, and let's stay there for a few breaths. Let the body get used to it. Let the leg understand what's happening, and it will start to relax slightly. Tension is in the band, not in you. Breath in, breath out, little ease in, breath in, release. So small little steps. Again, keep your spine in neutral, your neck is long. One side, just make a mental note which feels tighter or easier than the other. My left is my worst, so pay a little bit more of attention to it. Keeping that leg close to you, just holding it there, opening up the back of the knee. Got to be straight. It's best to be straight in here than it is to be here and bent, because you're just not going to get a stretch. You've got to feel a stretch, but no shaking. Listen to your body. Let's take the leg over slightly. Feel that IT band stretch. Lovely. Let's release. Let's put the left foot on the right knee. Pick the feet up. Again, using the band if that helps. Or if you can reach the leg, you can. You can put your hands through, but then I tend to find you start using your upper body, and we just really want to stretch the hips. So use your fingers in your left hip. This is the glute, the left glute that we're working. Again, you've got 3 bits to your glutes, so top, middle and lower. We're trying to work all of them, all as important as each other. They all work the hips and the legs and help the posture. Let's put that foot down, keeping the ankle on the knee. Let's let the legs fall over to the right, gently, gently. Keeping both shoulders down, looking towards the left hand. We'll get round to our abdominals in a minute. We always have time for them. We'll just do a really crazy hard set. Done lots for the legs today, but it's nice to mix it up. Squeeze the tummy, press on that right foot that's on the floor to get those knees back. Squeeze the tummy, gently let them go to the other side. Fall to the left. Oh, lovely, and then look over to the right. Oh, glasses have steamed up again. And then gently, let's push on that foot, bring them back to centre. Taking the feet off. Bring the knees into the chest and rock ourselves up to sitting. We want to do the 100 very quickly, and then we're going to go straight into the V-sit, I think. Let's go for it today. So 100 warms us up. So we know the drill. Feet are here. And we pump the arms, and I'm going to get lower and lower and lift legs as we go. Breathe in. And out. And in. And out. And in. And out. And in. And out. And switch if you want. And out. And in. And out. And in. And out. And straighten. And out. And lower. And out. And lower. And out. Last time in, last time out. Well done. Relax. Stretch the arms. Lovely. Straight into our next one. Keeping the legs long, linking the hands behind the head. So just going to do a small crunch with the upper body. Trying to keep your arms near your ears, so we don't want to come past, because the weight adds extra. Crunch and lower. Crunch and lower. Crunch and lower. Can we add a right leg lift? Crunch and lift. Only small and lower. Then left. Crunch and lower. So this is our base move. You can do with or out legs. I'm going to start to make it bigger, more momentum. Can we do both legs? Lift and lower, and lift and lower, and lift and lower. Let's lift and hold. So we are doing our isometric hold for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Now I want to try and sit all the way up. So this time I'm going to release the hands, have a bit more momentum, lift up, legs lift up, body lifts up. You can do it quicker. Roll down, breathe in. Up, curl up, legs lift. So as an option, take it back to where we were. Maybe you could just lift the one leg at a time. Breathe in, breathe out. If you can, lift both legs. Doesn't matter if they're bent, that's fine. Lift one more, we're going to hold. Lovely isometric finish and hold. For 2, for 3, for 4, release. Well done. Oh. Knees in. Lovely. Bring ourselves up again. I want to do a very quick little stretch for our quads. We've done a lot here. And then we should get a quick chest opener in and then cool down. So on all fours, going to bring the right knee forward, preferably between the hands, but if not, just bring it towards the right hand. So either towards the right or in the middle if you can. Then this foot here is going to inchworm us, take it back as much as you can. So you're almost sitting on your own foot. So I'm then going to take my foot to the walls past me, so my legs at an angle, but again you've got to see how your knees feel. You might need to have your foot straight underneath. If you can, slightly to the side, lovely. Pull back and you're pushing your left hip down, so stretching under here, and then your right hip you can push to the floor and back. It's like rocking motion, so you're stretching your left hip flexor, but you're really stretching your right glute as well. Lots going on. Hold. If you can get to the floor where it's comfortable, take that back leg back. Can you lean forwards? Again, if not, stay where you are. Lengthen the neck, just rest here. Can we give that back foot a little kick in towards us? Bring yourself back up. Oh, got cramp today. If you can grab it, wonderful. If not, stay where you are. 4, 3, 2, release. We're going to switch. So I'm going to take this knee back. Bring this knee into the centre. And take this foot and use your leg to get yourself back. So again, you can stay here, or you can shuffle this foot through. And then you're stretching this hip, pushing the hip down to the floor. Then your left hip, push it down to the floor. So you can roll a little bit. See how you feel, listen to your body. So this is great if you do cycling. As you can imagine, cycling, your front leg's more like this one, but it's this back leg you want to stretch because it's constantly in that position, cycling and pedaling. Also a lot of chest stretches because your back is rounded because you're leaning forward. Can we lean forward? Wonderful, we are doing so well for time. Breathe into it, try and, if you feel any tight spaces, try and just focus on them and let them find some space and relax. So you can just get into that stretch. Can we lift the right foot towards us, towards the bottom, and coming up? If you can, grab it, wonderful. If not, don't worry. A few breaths here. Try and relax into it, don't let it be tight. Listen to the body, breathe. And release, lovely. So I want to do our chest opener. Let's have a little bit of work for the upper back. So pillow under your head. Going to be lying on our sides. Shoulder right underneath this shoulder. Bring your knees nice and close towards you. And then I'm going to take this top leg over then that really pulls me over them. So I can't use any of this. I can only use this rib and twist it, which is what I want to use. So hands, making sure they meet at the same place. You don't want to be here or here. And then open up. Hair clips and glasses may need removing. Oh, I feel much looser this week, isn't that funny? Last week I couldn't barely move at all. And I've done nothing for a week except for go camping on an uncomfortable black bed. So there you go, maybe it just shows you. Breathing into it. Wow. And close. Let's do a circle around the head. Minding any bits you've got in your way, you can just adapt. One last circle, let's just hold it where the loveliest stretch is. Feeling it again, keep this knee heavy. Let's release, wonderful. I'm going to change ends, but you can just flip over. Again, on the side, shoulders under you. Knees in, knee over the top, leg just underneath. And open up, making sure you've got enough pillow. That's it. Breathing into it. And close, I'll make sure I've got a bit more room. Keeping that knee down, much tighter on this side. Oh, not too bad. And close. Little adjustments if you need to. Lovely. Let's start to do our circle. Circle round. And close. Using that breath. And close. One more, and then I'm going to hold here. I'm going to use my radiator to just tuck my fingers under. Oh, and that just helps aid that stretch. If you've got something you can just help grab onto, it's a wonderful thing. And gently release. Lovely stuff. In your own time, let's find a nice relaxing position to lie in. Feet apart, arms to the side, palms facing up or down. And we're going to close our eyes and go into a little bit of relaxation for a few moments. I'll keep this one on today. And just sense tension around your toes. Scrunch up the toes. Breathe in. Breathe out, feel the toes relax. And then let's sense tension around the heels and the ankles, flexing the feet. Breathing in. Breathe out, feel the tension leave. And then feel tension around the knees and the thighs at the bottom. Breathing in, breathing out, release. Then sensing tension around the tummy, the pelvic floor, up into the shoulders. Shrug the shoulders, breathing in, breathing out, release. From your shoulders down to your fingertips, stretch those fingers, feeling tension run all the way down the arm, breathing in, breathe out, release. Then tension into your hands, making a fist, hold on really tight to all that tension, all that negativity, and then breathe in, breathe out, release, shake those hands. And then into your face. Close the eyes tightly, close the jaw, feeling tension, breathing in. And then as you breathe out, feeling the tension leave the body. One last time, breathing in, squeezing everything, toes, legs, tummies, eyes, mouth, shoulders, fists. Breathe out, relax. And every time you exhale, just sensing yourself relax, sinking into the floor, taking a moment for you, just rest. And then very gently, let's start to think of the eyes. We could just move them around behind the eyelids, circle them around, move the tongue around the mouth, maybe licking the teeth. And we can wiggle the fingers and toes, and then circle the wrists and ankles, and gently take a full body stretch, as if you've just woken up. Gently, feet on the floor one at a time, knees into the chest one at a time, little rock side to side to relax and massage that spine. Roll over to your right hand side, opening the eyes and come into a position where we're tucking the feet underneath, getting ready to stand up. And just push back on those feet, stretch those toes, hold for a moment. And then gently push back, heels stretching out. And then heels down, hang down nice and long, shake the head like you're saying no, and nod your head like you're saying yeah. And then gently start to peel yourself up, stacking the spine, one vertebra at a time. Ooh. Lovely, then let's come back to the front. Take a nice deep breath in. And another one. One last lovely deep breath. Hands together. Give yourselves a clap. Thank you so much.